Hello friends, how are you? Hope you are doing well. So let us start the new topic, typical steps involved in conducting an ESG audit effectively. Okay, so what will be the components? Let us discuss them. So conducting an ESG audit will involve assessing the organizational performance against ESG criteria which have been established against the standards and goals. Here are the typical steps included in conducting an ESG audit. So first one is establish the audit objectives and the scope. We need to define the objectives, clearly outline the purpose and goals of ESG audit, such as assessing compliance level, identifying the risk, and improving performance. We set the scope by determining the boundaries, organizational and operational boundaries, okay, and focus areas for the audit, and including specific ESG criteria and organizational units or processes to be audited. Then plan the audit plan. We need to develop a detailed audit plan which will include audit criteria, audit methodology, audit schedule as well. So in the audit criteria we specify the ESG standards, regulations and frameworks against which the audit will be conducted. In audit methodology, we define the audit methodology and techniques, example interviews, document review and site visits to gather relevant information. In the audit schedule, we need to establish the timelines, milestones and resource allocation for conducting the audits. Conduct pre-audit preparations. Next step, we need to go for document review, like we need to collect and review relevant documents, policies, procedures, reports and data related to the ESG performance. In the stakeholder engagement, we say engage with the key stakeholders to understand their perspectives and expectations regarding ESG practices. Also, we identify the potential ESG risks and issues that may impact the organizational performance and compliance. Then we perform on-site audit activities. In this, we consider the field work, data collection and verification. So in the field work, we conduct on-site visits, interviews and observations to gather evidence and assess ESG practices firsthand. In the data collection, we collect the quantitative and qualitative data related to ESG metrics, targets and performance indicators. Also, in the verification stage, we verify the accuracy and completeness of the data and information obtained during the audit process. The next is analyze the findings. We analyze the collected data and evidence against the audit criteria and the benchmarks, and we identify gaps, also deficiencies and areas of improvement in ESG performance compared to ESG standards and goals. Also, we go for sometime root cause analysis. We determine the underlying causes contributing to identified ESG issues and non-compliances. Then report the audit results. In audit report, we prepare a comprehensive audit report that will include executive summary, findings and observations, recommendations, management response. Next is about communicate and present the findings. In the presentation, we present the audit finding and recommendation to the senior management and relevant stakeholders. Also, we solicit the feedback and clarification on audit findings from stakeholders to ensure transparency and alignment. We implement corrective actions. Based on that, the audit findings, we develop a corrective action plan based on the audit recommendations, including responsibilities, timelines and resources required. Also, we monitor the corrective actions by establishing the mechanism to monitor and track the implementation of these corrective actions to address identified ESG deficiencies. The next is follow-up and review. We conduct follow-up audits to assess the effectiveness of implementation of the corrective actions and improvements in ESG performance. We go for continuous improvement. We develop and drive a culture of continuous improvement by integrating lessons learned from the audit process in the ESG management practices. In the documentation and the archive, we say that maintaining comprehensive records of audit activities, findings, recommendations, reports and follow-up actions for future reference and compliance purpose. reference and compliance purpose. Archive the audit documentation in accordance with organizational policies and regulatory requirements. So what will be the implementation considerations like expertise, integration and benchmarking? We need to engage qualified auditors or consultants with expertise in audit, ESG audit and compliance. We need to integrate ESG audit findings and recommendations into broader organizational strategies and sustainability initiatives. Also, we need to conduct certain benchmarking studies against industry peers, best practices to drive continuous improvement. So, by following all the steps, organizations can effectively conduct ESG audits to assess, monitor, and enhance their environmental social governance performance, ensuring alignment with stakeholders' expectations and regulatory requirements. Thank you very much, friends. Let us start the new topic now.